Hello curious people, welcome to Jainism, the ancient science. I am Manisha Gala from India and today I am going to talk about basic instincts. Jainism has specified 10 basic instincts. Out of that, the first one I will explain in detail and the rest will follow in the forthcoming videos. The first one is Aahaar Sangya or the craving for food. We'll see its definition, some examples of what is Aahaar Sangya and how it surfaces and how to manage that Aahaar Sangya. Now, what is a basic instinct? Basic instinct is a craving or desire for something that surfaces suddenly out of nowhere. Of course, it is a result of karma, but it pops out anytime. And that is why it is called instinct. So let me make one thing very clear. Whenever there is karma, there is body. And whenever there is body, there will definitely be karma associated with the soul, which keep the soul trapped within the body. And these basic instincts are associated with the body and they are also result of some other karma. That is why these pure souls, they don't have any basic instincts. Only we, the mundane souls, the living beings who are residing within a body have basic instincts, and all kinds of living beings have these basic instincts. So Jainism has specified 10 basic instincts. Instincts are called Sangya or Sangya in Gujarati and Hindi. So, I have learned Jainism in Gujarati, so my pronunciation will be Sangya. So, there are 10 basic instincts: Aahaar Sangya, Bhay Sangya, Maithun Sangya, Parigraha Sangya, Krodh Sangya, Man Sangya, Maya Sangya, Lobh Sangya, Og Sangya and Lok Sangya. Total 10 Sangya, total 10 basic instincts. So today we will delve into Aahaar Sangya, the first basic instinct, that is the craving for food. Now let's understand what is the definition of Aahaar or food as per Jainism. Normally we say that Aahaar or food is something we eat by mouth. That is a very limited perspective. Jainism has a much bigger perspective for the definition of food, the definition of Aahaar. It is anything that is absorbed by the body for its nourishment, for its growth, is called food or Aahaar. So Jainism has specified 3 types of Aahaar: Oj Aahaar, Rom Aahaar and Kawal Aahaar. Let's see what is Oj Aahaar. In the last episode, I had explained that when a living being dies, it drops the external body and heads to the new place to form a new external body. So, this is when Oj Aahaar comes in picture. When a soul reaches the new destination, it absorbs particles from the surrounding to make new external body, and that is called Oj Aahaar. It is the first absorption done by the soul, only for one samay. That is Oj Aahaar. Jainism explains it with the metaphor of pakoda or tempura. When the dumpling is dropped in hot oil, it absorbs oil from everywhere. The first time it is dropped in oil. So the same way, when a soul reaches the new destination to form a new body, it absorbs the surrounding particles. The first absorption is called Oj Aahaar, and that Oj Aahaar forms the building blocks for the body, and those particles remain with the living being for that life, for the entire that life, till death. They are preserved in the body. In case of humans, the first Aahaar, the Oj Aahaar, would be the mixture of blood and semen in a lady's uterus who is conceiving a child. So when the new child is about to born, when the new soul comes, it absorbs that mixture, and that remains, those particles remain in the body for the lifetime, and that is why Jainism says respect your parents because they have provided the building blocks of your body and they are going to support you for the lifetime. So that is Oj Aahaar. Now next is Rom Aahaar. What is Rom Aahaar? Rom Aahaar is anything that is absorbed by our skin, and that process is continuous process. Let's again take the example of a new arrival of a child, or the conceiving of the child. So in mother's womb, the fetus gets nutrition through placenta via umbilical cord. The food, the nutrients are transferred from mother's body and they are absorbed by the fetus body, and it grows, it progresses, the pregnancy progresses, and at a certain time the baby takes birth with a nicely formed body. So till then it has Rom Aahaar, and later also we also have Rom Aahaar. We continuously absorb through our body. For example, I may say that in the summer we feel more thirsty or more dehydrated. That is because the moisture is less in the environment and our body absorbs less moisture, and that is why we feel more thirsty, we feel like having more water. So that indicates that you are continuously absorbing food or particles through your skin also. We use massage oils, or for wounds and cuts we may apply ointment that is absorbing medicine through skin, and that helps the body in healing. So that is also a kind of food for the body as per Jainism's definition. And the last is Kawal Aahaar, something that is eaten by mouth. Kawal. Kawal means a morsel, we can say. That is Kawal Aahaar. When you take a morsel and put in mouth, that is Kawal Aahaar. So who has Kawal Aahaar? All Tiryans, those who have mouth, and all humans, they have Kawal Aahaar. The other single sense beings like plants, air, water, fire, earth, they don't have mouth. For them it is only Rom Aahaar, or the absorption of food through their skin. Even for the hellish beings and heavenly beings, they don't eat through mouth. Oj Aahaar everyone has, Rom Aahaar everyone has, Kawal Aahaar is restricted to certain beings. So this is all about Aahaar or food. Now let's come to Aahaar Sangya, or craving for food, the first basic instinct. Every mundane soul who is residing within the physical body has craving for food, because body is the place it stays in, and it needs to keep it up to date, it needs to keep it updated, it needs to nourish the body. So every body requires food, and the craving, the sudden craving for food is called Aahaar Sangya. Let me explain it with a human perspective. Say it's a Saturday night and I've had dinner, and then I am planning to watch a movie. I start the movie and within half an hour I feel like having popcorn. So that sudden craving of popcorn is Aahaar Sangya. I'm not hungry, but suddenly I felt that craving of popcorn. Another example can be an old man who is watching TV, and suddenly tea ad or coffee ad pops up and he feels like having some tea. That is Aahaar Sangya. That was not a tea time, but looking at the movie, looking at the screen, looking at the advertisement, he felt like having tea. Third example can be of a child. She's watching something and suddenly the noodles advertisement comes and she calls out to mom, "Mom, I want to have noodles today." So that is suddenly that noodle craving has come up, and that is Aahaar Sangya. Now let's come to the karmic aspect of this. Of course, there is some karma, and that is why this Aahaar Sangya came up. So that particular karma generated a situation when this craving for food popped up. So that was karma's effect. Now it is up to the soul whether to give in to that instinct or not. I felt like eating something, but I may or may not eat that thing. Say for example, I got a craving for popcorn and there was no popcorn at home. Then I opened my phone and ordered some popcorn via quick commerce app. it came and I had popcorn. For that man who craved for tea, but there was no one at home and he didn't know how to prepare tea, so he dropped the idea of having tea. For that child who wanted to have noodles, she told her mother, but then the mother said, no, the meal is ready, the dinner is ready, and I'm not going to prepare noodles for you. That noodle she doesn't eat, and that phase passes, that situation passes. So in the first situation, I craved for popcorn and I had popcorn. That means the karma generated the situation where the craving for popcorn came up and I ate popcorn. I got indulged in that activity. So my new karma are formed because of that activity. But for the other two cases, the craving came up, but it was not fulfilled for some or other reason. So the karma that generated the situation got shed without forming a new karma. So their karmic account became lighter, little bit, and my karmic account became heavier, little bit. But that little bit matters because there are so many activities we carry out during the day, and there are many things which we don't do mindfully. We just, okay, I felt like eating something, I ordered, I ate, fine. But there are other type of people who do many fastings. They also feel hungry, but they have control over their Aahaar Sangya. Sometimes it also happens that we are sitting in the office, it's lunchtime, and you are really very hungry, but you are so much loaded with the work that you don't get time to eat. So that craving, that hunger also subsides after a while and you forget that. And you may eat a late lunch. So that craving for food subsided if you didn't get the food. And that is what the key is for fasting. The people who can fast for many days have control over their Aahaar Sangya. Skipping one meal or two or doing some fast, 1, 2, 3 or little more, 8, 10, 16, 30, that is fine. But there will be some point where your body will definitely need food and you need to eat. That is why, see, the body is the tool to shed your karma. You cannot ignore body. You have to keep it up to date. And every body, every soul has a different type of body and it needs to eat that kind of food and that amount of food to maintain it. So we cannot ignore. We cannot do fasting blindly, that if somebody is doing 10 fast, I will also do. And if my body collapses, then it's not right. Even in Jainism, it's not right. Jainism has provided multiple ways to shed your karma. Fasting is just one medium. So if one person is able to do fasting and the other one is not, it is not necessary that only one person's karma will shed and other person's not. Maybe that other person may be doing something else which will reduce his or her karmic burden. So respect your body. Even if you want to do fasting, just do it carefully. I know there are some people who have, I know 2 people who have done many fasts consecutive. One was some Jain monk, he had done 180 fasts. I had visited him, and I also know a lady who did 153 fasts continuously, consecutive fasting. But then she dropped it. She wanted to do 180, but then her body started reacting in some way that it became dangerous for her. So she had to drop the idea. So then she started eating her meals and gradually she came back to her routine. So it is good to control your Aahaar Sangya. It is good to have limited food, but always keep in mind that your body is equally important for you. Don't just give up. And the same goes for giving into Aahaar Sangya. Don't just eat anything which spoils your body. Body is very important. So eat mindfully, eat carefully. This is all about Aahaar Sangya, and in the next episode I will talk about fear, the Bhay Sangya. Till then, stay connected.